There's been this story that surfaced out of the Texas AG's office about Google and Facebook quietly working together in online ads in 2017. Looks like Facebook might have gotten special treatment. Now, Google has said that the way the AG's complaint presents the agreement isn't quite right. I guess we'll see. But I want to ask broadly, this kind of allegation, if you're not talking about this specific one itself, fine. But this kind of allegation, is this concerning to you?
Yeah, and whenever we see competitors or potential competitors reaching agreements, we always ask what are the drivers behind that and try and assess what are the competitive impacts. If it's an agreement that fosters competition or promotes new products or better products into the market, that's usually typically viewed as pro-competitive. But if they are situations where actual or potential competitors are agreeing not to compete against each other, that's the type of agreement that does raise significant antitrust concerns and that we would look into.
So what do you do with something like this then?
So typically, if we get, and I can't speak to the AG's specific complaint, but if we were to get something like that at the commission, if we saw something that looked like it was a potential criminal cartel, then we would refer it to our colleagues at the Antitrust Division of the Justice Department, who has criminal antitrust authority. Civilly, the Federal Trade Commission can pursue any sorts of agreements between competitors and seek to either enjoin those agreements and potentially, depending on our powers, go back and seek to get restitution or equitable monetary relief from those parties if we can actually show harm.
You know, there's been an interesting conversation about abuse of market power of these tech giants, both in terms of acquisitions and M&A, and then also this question of content and how these companies dominate the type of content that's disseminated on the internet. I'm curious what issues you think will be top of mind for the Biden administration, whether it's an interest in perhaps breaking up these companies or just regulating the way they could operate, or the third option, regulating the way they approach acquisitions of their smaller rivals. So
I think that the next administration is going to be at least as robust in their enforcement efforts as the last administration. First, I want to thank Congress for the additional funds that they provided to the Federal Trade Commission. Those funds are desperately needed to ensure that we have the resources that we need to be able to investigate these types of companies. This is a situation where large tech companies often have profits that are multiples of our own entire budget. And so those resources are appreciated. What I would expect to see as you look towards the next administration, we already have some enforcement actions in court now pending, where we are seeking as a potential remedy dissolution of some of the prior mergers that have gone through. But I would also expect tighter scrutiny on proposed mergers and some of the consummated non-reportable mergers that may have happened in the past. The Federal Trade Commission had a study that it initiated last year, and that is continuing, looking at those smaller transactions by several of the technology platforms. And we've also initiated another study that is looking at how several of these tech platforms use data and use algorithms to track users and show them certain content. So it's going to be an area of a significant amount of activity under the new acting chairwoman.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.